Hey guys, so I'm back with another review video, and this time it's the rigid lights. So, so recently I went for a trip with a few colleagues of mine, and while coming back, I just realized that my fog lamps were not working. Fog lamps or auxiliary lamps, they were not working. I had given my bike for servicing, not servicing, water washing, just a few days before the trip. That was a big mistake. Now, what these service guys do is they use pressure wash. And most of the guys who wash the vehicles, they are absolute imbeciles. They don't have an idea about where to use pressure wash, which part of the bike they should avoid using pressure hose. And as a result, what happens, I don't know, water might have gone into the electricals and maybe the cables got shorted or something, but it was quite terrible. And as you guys already know, I ride a Versys 650, and the stock headlights on those on the Versys is quite disappointing. I mean, if you ask me, it's quite a well-rounded bike in terms of its other features, but when it comes to headlights, it's just a piece of crap. I mean, they probably just put a headlight there to just to go through homologation. And that's about it. It does not serve any purpose whatsoever. I mean, it's pretty dim for city riding, let alone highway rides, especially night rides. So anyone who's using the Versys for long distance touring, I would definitely recommend putting on some sort of auxiliary lights, and if you, especially if you do a lot of night riding, otherwise it's not at all safe. And when you do put auxiliary lights, make sure you sort of point them properly so that it does not blind oncoming traffic. For the longest time, I was confused as hell about which light to take. There were brands like Clearwater with their Cristas and Dalas and Ericas and Savinas, and then Baja Design. Baja Design came with a lot of recommendation from a lot of my friends from other different biking groups, especially their Squadron Pro model, which is by far one of the best value that you can get, price to performance value that you can get. Clearwaters are, I know they're probably the best in the market, but they just, it's a personal opinion, but I think they're overpriced, right? I mean, it's just freaking LEDs, man. Come on, how can you price them at like 75,000 rupees or close to a lakh? Some of the models. I don't know. I only have one kidney, or I think I probably sold that as well, because I constantly keep upgrading my gear. That aside, so Baja Design, they are definitely amazing. Squadron Pros, excellent auxiliary lights. You know, if you just want to put one pair of auxiliary lights, I would definitely ask you to go to look at the Squadron Pros. They're definitely, kind of ahead of the pack. Then the next one was the rigid lights, the one which you see here. And finally, it was the VisionX light cannon. Now, mind you, most of these lights are not available in India. I mean, they are, but they're exorbitantly priced. There are only a few sellers in India who sell them. And with the import duty, I mean, I'm not blaming the sellers, it's just that we have ridiculous import laws and all. End of the day, they become so expensive. I mean, some of the lights are so expensive, you can actually buy a commuter bike in that same price. So it does not make any sense whatsoever in getting it from here. If you can get it from outside, Like say for instance, I generally when I travel to US, I make a list of things that I need to get from there. So I just get it from there. If I'm not traveling, I have friends who keep traveling or something like that. So I kind of get it through them. Anyways, so those were the 3 or 4 brands that I was looking at. Once more through them. First was the Clearwaters. Second was Baha Designs. Third was Rigid. Fourth was VisionX. And then there are a lot of these Chinese brands like Auxbeam and Mic Tuning and Super 4 into 4 or something like that. Anyways, you'll find them on AliExpress quite often. And there's one Chinese brand, however, who can compete with any of these brands neck to neck, and they are the Gold Runway aux lights. Gold Runways, although are Chinese made, they are of brilliant quality. I mean, they are probably as good as these lights, if not better. So, and one thing which is very good about Gold Runways are the fact that they have a sort of a knob which can be used, or buttons which can be used to dim the lights, right? Which none of the other manufacturers kind of provide. And bear in mind, these aux lights are mostly used on off-road vehicles, right? At least in the West, in the US specifically, I've seen them use them on their Wranglers or the Rubicons and stuff, right? So that's where they use it on off-road vehicles. Let me tell you that these lights are not street legal. When a vehicle is homologated, any kind of additional lights apart from the stock headlights are not homologated with it unless they are provided as an accessory by the manufacturer, right? So any aftermarket lights that you put on your vehicle, just understand this, that it makes it, there is a legal aspect to it, right? If a cop wants to catch you, they can catch you and they have a point, right? You cannot just argue with them and just tell them that it's available in the market, so it must be legal. No, a lot of things are available in the market and a lot of things are illegal, right? So aux lights, as of now, they are not legal. There are some counter arguments made by people. Some say that you can have aux lights below your headlights and all of that. See, those make it a little more acceptable. But in general, any kind of aux lights or fog lights which have not come as a part of your bike is illegal, right? So, that's that about the lights. As you can see, I've already done the unboxing. Actually, I didn't do the unboxing, my friend did. He was running excess baggage, so he had to leave the box behind. He just got me the stuff which was inside. He didn't bring the box along with him, but that's fine. So what was in the box? Let me first show you this. These are accessories which I'll show later. Let me just keep them aside for now. So here's the first thing. This is the clamp which kind of holds the light. And these are called surface mount clamps. It sits on any particular surface like this. And then there's another kind of mount which are called flush mount. So it basically sits inside a sort of a sort of a gap or a hole or something like that. It's like a cavity, so to say. So you have a headlight cavity, right? You might have a fog lamp cavity as well. So they just sit flush within those cavities. This, however, is a surface mount. And then you have all the cables. Let me just open it. So this is a switch, and the switch has a sort of light inside. So when you operate it, if it's switched on, it'll glow red. Then you have, you know, a decent size cable for your connection. And these plugs that you see here, these are called Deutsch plugs. The lamps also have them. So these are totally waterproof. You can just, sort of press them together, and once you hear a click sound, they're properly locked, right? And you can be rest assured that no water would go inside because they are properly water sealed. They have a sort of rubber gasket around here, right? And the wires also have a fuse here. I think it's Okay, guys, somehow the recording stopped abruptly and I didn't notice it until very late. I had almost shown all the accessories that came with the lights, uh, barring the actual lights. Here, I'll show them on the bike. The lights, as you can see, are already installed. The two lights that you see on top are Chinese ones, which has a more wider spread. The ones at the bottom, adjacent to the headlight, are the rigid lights. They have a more focused beam. They are basically spot beam lights. Now, rigid have lights with different beam patterns. Like they have diffuse lights, floodlights, spots, spot diffused, and most extreme version is called hyperspot, which basically throws a very narrow sort of beam of light to a great distance. The spot it is best of both worlds. It has a long range. Um, it also has a fair amount of spread, um, but not. But if you're just using these lights exclusively, I would um, ask you to put some sort of additional lights because this has a very sort of narrow and straight beam. It's good for high-speed rides on straight highways, but if you're doing like twisties or hilly roads or ghat sections, I would definitely ask you to put some kind of other lights. I think in ghat sections, your headlights should do the trick unless it's a very foggy day. But apart from that, I mean, these lights are amazing. Okay, finally it's time to test out the lights. So I'm at the end of a narrow alley near my house. So here's the stock low beam headlight. Here's the high beam. Here are or Chinese aux lights, and here are the rigid lights. Here they are again, the Chinese ones, the rigid ones. You can see the difference. Just the Chinese. And the rigid ones. As you can see till the end of the alley. It's amazing. This is definitely gonna help me a lot on my long rides. Just need to point it a little better. Think it should do it. As you can see, the Chinese ones have a more immediate spread, as in like the immediate surrounding of the bike is more lit up with the Chinese ones. But the rigid actually has a longer throw. The light projection is quite amazing. Like I'm only on the rigids right now. As you can see that it seems dimmer, but it's actually projecting the light to a very long distance. I can literally see till the end of the alley with these lights. So that's it with this video. Hope you liked the content, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and yes, don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you keep getting updates for the new videos I keep posting. And until next time, see ya.